Hello everyone. Why do we find pleasure in missing something we've lost? How can feeling sad about the past make us mysteriously happy? Welcome to the paradox of nostalgia, perhaps humanity's strangest emotion. Picture yourself finding an old photo album or hearing a song from your teenage years. That bittersweet ache you feel? That's nostalgia. It's not quite happiness, not quite sadness, but somehow both at once. For centuries, this peculiar emotion was actually considered a disease, a form of melancholy that needed to be cured. Today, we're discovering it might be one of our most powerful psychological tools for well-being. The word nostalgia comes from the Greek nostos, return home, and algos, pain. It was coined in 1688 by a Swiss doctor who noticed soldiers becoming ill with longing for their homeland. He thought it was caused by damage to the brain from the constant clanging of cowbells in the Swiss mountains, a theory that seems laughable now, but shows how mysterious this emotion once seemed. But here's where it gets fascinating. Nostalgia isn't just about missing the past, it's about creating meaning in the present. When we feel nostalgic, we're not just remembering what happened, we're crafting a story about who we are. It's like we're writing our personal mythology, starring ourselves as both hero and audience. Consider how nostalgia works. You might feel nostalgic for your college years, remembering late-night conversations with friends and the excitement of learning new things. But research shows you're not actually remembering these events accurately. Instead, you're creating an idealized version of the past, filtering out the anxiety, boredom, and uncertainty that you actually experienced at the time. This isn't a bug, it's a feature. Nostalgia serves as a kind of psychological time machine, allowing us to revisit and rewrite our past in ways that help us face our present and future. When people feel nostalgic, they report greater sense of meaning in their lives, stronger connections to others, and more optimism about the future. But here's the paradox. We often feel most nostalgic for difficult times in our lives. People report intense nostalgia for their struggling student days, their first jobs with terrible pay, or even periods of hardship like wartime. Why? Because nostalgia isn't about the events themselves, it's about the meaning we found in overcoming challenges and the bonds we formed with others during those times. The science behind nostalgia reveals something remarkable about human consciousness. When we experience nostalgia, multiple brain regions activate simultaneously, areas involved in autobiographical memory, emotion, reward, and social bonding all light up together. It's like a neural symphony playing the greatest hits of your life. Modern technology has created new forms of nostalgia. We can now instantly access photos, music, and videos from our past. Social media constantly reminds us of memories from years ago. But does this instant access to our past enhance or diminish the power of nostalgia? Some researchers worry that we're becoming nostalgia addicts, constantly seeking the comfort of the past instead of engaging with the present. Consider how marketers exploit nostalgia. Retro products remake movies' vintage styles. Businesses know that nostalgia sells. But why are we willing to pay more for something simply because it reminds us of the past? The answer might lie in how nostalgia makes us feel about ourselves. When we consume nostalgic products, we're not just buying things, we're buying connections to our personal history. Nostalgia also plays a crucial role in cultural identity. Entire societies can feel nostalgic for the good old days, even if those days weren't actually better. This collective nostalgia can be powerful but dangerous, sometimes leading to reactionary politics or resistance to necessary change. The phrase "Make America Great Again" taps into this collective nostalgia, regardless of historical accuracy. But nostalgia isn't just about the past, it shapes how we experience the present. Research shows that people feeling nostalgic actually experience warmer physical temperatures. The comfort of nostalgic memories literally makes people feel warmer. This might explain why we feel more nostalgic during cold weather or when we're feeling lonely. The relationship between nostalgia and time perception is particularly intriguing. When we're young, we rarely feel nostalgic because we haven't accumulated enough past to miss. As we age, nostalgia becomes more frequent and more powerful. But here's something weird. We can feel nostalgic for times we never experienced personally. How many people feel nostalgia for the 1950s who weren't even alive then? This historical nostalgia reveals something important about human psychology. We're not just nostalgic for our own past, we're nostalgic for the idea of a simpler, more meaningful time. This might explain why young people today feel nostalgic for the 1980s or 1990s, periods they know only through media and stories. Nostalgia also serves as a psychological resource during difficult times. Studies show that people naturally turn to nostalgia when they're feeling lonely, anxious, or meaningless. It's like our minds have a built-in comfort mechanism that says, remember when things made sense? You can feel that way again. But there's a dark side to nostalgia. Some people become trapped in nostalgic reverie, unable to engage with the present. This hyper-nostalgia can be a symptom of depression or anxiety. Like any powerful tool, nostalgia needs to be used wisely. The future of nostalgia raises interesting questions. How will virtual reality change how we remember and miss the past? Will social media's constant documentation of our lives enhance or diminish future nostalgia? Will artificial intelligence be able to experience nostalgia, or is this bittersweet emotion uniquely human? Some philosophers argue that nostalgia is essential to human consciousness, that our ability to feel this complex emotion is part of what makes us human. Unlike animals, we can time travel in our minds, finding pleasure in the pain of missing what's gone. The practical applications of understanding nostalgia are significant. Therapists use nostalgia to help patients find meaning and connection. Designers create products and experiences that evoke nostalgic feelings. Even urban planners consider how to preserve elements that create collective nostalgia in communities. Perhaps most importantly, nostalgia reminds us that our relationship with time isn't simple. We're not just creatures living in the present, we're constantly engaging with our past and future selves through memory and imagination. Nostalgia is one of the ways we weave together different moments of our lives into a meaningful narrative. So next time you feel that bittersweet ache while looking at old photos or hearing a forgotten song, remember, you're not just missing the past. You're engaging in a complex psychological process that helps you understand who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. The paradox of nostalgia, finding joy in the pain of missing yesterday, might just be one of humanity's most sophisticated emotional achievements. It's a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful experiences come not from pure happiness or pure sadness, but from the beautiful space in between. And perhaps that's the ultimate lesson of nostalgia. Life's most precious moments are often recognized only in their passing. But through the magic of this strange emotion, we can revisit them, find meaning in them, and use them to build a better tomorrow. Thanks for watching.